flight time, and nobody does it like he does in the PT-17 Stearman. I present to you Mr. John Mohr. Woo! Yeah, how about that? Now watch him. He went from a roll to a snap roll. Again, this airplane was never intended to do this because it was the basic, the most primary trainer around. Watch John Mohr as he goes out here. The reason, one of the things that this airplane doesn't have is an inverted fuel or oil system. It was never meant to go upside down very long. John Mohr has won all the major awards. As he climbs for altitude with two B-1RDs in the back course, I'm sure they're steering clear of him right now. Let's watch John as he gets here to altitude and on the downline gets to a blistering 105 miles an hour. Up over the top. At only 400 feet above the ground, he'll roll the aircraft upright with a half a roll into the upright position, doing one half of the Cuban 8 maneuver. Quickly pulling over the top. He'll do the same thing in the opposite direction with the Cuban 8. After World War I, if a pilot in that first air war survived, when the average life of a fighter pilot was only about 3 weeks. Watch John now, he's at 400 feet, he's going to come all the way through this loop. Pull it through, pull it through, pull it through, watch him level off. Oh, at the bottom, leveling off just 40 feet above the ground. The average life of a fighter pilot in World War I, about 3 weeks. And they wanted to stay in aviation, so they'd buy a used surplus Curtiss Jenny trainer. They'd fly over the town, do some aerial stunts, land in a farmer's field, and give rides for $5 or $10 a piece. This is the barnstorming epitome of the 21st century. Pulling hard on the stick, John Mohr does the inside Humpty Bump. A quarter roll to the right. Has him headed right down towards the line. And as he come up, he goes into a 4-point hesitation roll. Stopping every 90 degrees of roll. Now, the airplane, without an inverted fuel and oil system, he gets upside down too long and the airplane will literally, the engine will quit. So listen carefully, we may see some of that. As he turns around with a hammerhead stall turn, we go from a 4-point hesitation roll. Let's see if he can do it every 45 degrees with an 8-point hesitation roll. John Mohr from Minnesota. Winner of the Art Scholl Memorial Showmanship Award. He's upside down. Listen. A little bit of a stutter there. That's the 8-point roll. Now, as John Mohr continues out to the right-hand side, he has won the Art Scholl Memorial Showmanship Award, the highest award given to an airshow performer by the International Council of Airshows. The Experimental Aircraft Association has awarded him with a Bill Barber Award for Airshow Showmanship, given by World Airshow News at the Oshkosh, Wisconsin Air Venture Fly-In. John Mohr gets turned around. Now let's watch him pick up the super slow roll and listen for the motor. Scare you a little bit? Scares us all a little bit until we realize that there's nobody who can fly a stock Stearman better than John. As he claws for altitude, watch him as he sets up for the next maneuver. We've seen rolls, 4-point rolls, 8-point rolls, barnstormers loops. Well, let's watch him now. There's 110 miles an hour and up he goes. He's going to go over on his back with 2 points of a 4-point roll and do a split S, the reverse 1/2 Cuban 8. As the ground comes up very quickly in his windstream, John Mohr levels off. He's got the power. Watch him do the same thing in the opposite direction. 2 points of a 4-point roll, pulls through with a 1/2 vertical S, That is the reverse Cuban 8. When John was a teenager, he built a helicopter, learned how to fly it all by himself. Now let's watch this loop. We saw the Super Hornet square loop. This is the non-Super Stearman square loop. With only 400 feet above the ground, he'll pull 90 degrees. Watch it. And the last 90-degree pull. 220 horsepower and a 3,000-pound airplane. The primary trainer. It was known as the M2S by the Navy, the PT-17 by the United States Army Air Corps, and the Royal Canadian Air Force called it the Cadet. No matter who does it, it's just better than any other airplane out there. Watch him go up, quarter roll to the left. He'll run out of airspeed. Push hard on the left rudder pedal, the hammerhead stall turn right down through his own smoke, and he'll extend out to the left. Every one of his peers stops and watches this guy because he just knows how to fly it better than anybody else. He'll get turned around. Now let's watch him for the next part of the program. Fighting a stiff on-crowd wind. At less than 100 miles an hour. Up he goes, not with a square loop, but with an 8-sided loop. A 45-degree pull. There's side 4, side 5, 40, side 6, side 7, and side 8. 35 or 40 feet above the ground and quickly rolls the airplane upside down as he turns to the left. Yeah, awesome. Now John's gonna climb the airplane just a little bit more, continuing to roll it as he turns. This is an extremely challenging maneuver. He's gonna set up for a maneuver that he's gonna dedicate to his wife, Lynn. Lynn travels with him everywhere. She is a lovely lady. And John is gonna do something that very few airplanes were meant to do. Especially not an airplane made of wood and tubular steel and fabric over it. This is a tumbling maneuver that John's going to call the Linshavak, based on the Lumshavak, the Czech word that means walking with an inebriated gait. Watch for him to tumble it. The snap roll, now watch this. Here's the tumble. Whoa, there he goes. Ladies and gentlemen, the Linshavak, give it up for John Mohr. Up he goes, quarter roll. He'll run out of airspeed. Gravity wins big time. Power comes off, the tail slide. Watch him swap ends. He'll put it into a spin. There's 2 turns, and he'll recover. Watch him level off. Whoa! Just 10 feet above the ground. Rolls it upside. Starts his roll. Now, this guy understands the ground and the relationship of this airplane to the ground better than anybody else. But let's watch as he climbs and climbs and climbs. He'll run out of airspeed. Now the airplane's going to stall. And he'll recover. This is called the falling leaf. Let's see if he's going to do it. Yep. He'll stall. He'll recover. The wing stalls. He flies again. It quits flying and starts falling. He keeps coming down in a falling leaf, knowing exactly where the airplane is as he comes down closer and closer to the ground, less than 200 feet above the ground. There's 100, 75, and quickly recovers. Oh, yeah, and I saw it from here. His wheels weren't more than 3 feet off the ground. How about that? You like this guy? Now you know why he's the award winner. Watch him fly the fuselage so very, very slowly across. No, listen carefully. He's going to roll it upside down. Listen to the engine. He's waving at you. Start the engine, John. I said start the engine. And there he goes. How about that? He was waving at you while he was upside down, waiting for that engine to quit. Now he flies the fuselage. Along the shoreline, watch how low he gets. Almost knife edge. That left wingtip within 5 feet of the ground. The tail within 3 feet of the ground. And let's see if he'll try it going the other direction. Coming back again from the right. One more time. Is that amazing or what? Takes it right down toward the grass. Oh, yeah. I love this guy. Give him a big hand. Now, John Mohr is going to set up to land. I think he's talking to the air boss. I want you to watch the landing. He's sitting in the back seat of the 2 seats of this Stearman biplane. John can't see very well over the nose. So he's going to come back in and check out his position on the runway before he lands. And to do that, he's going to roll it over on his back. This is called the inverted approach to landing, something most of us don't do as pilots. He'll roll it upside down. Now he'll get in there close and he'll say, okay, I ain't done yet. Watch him snap roll it. That's a high-speed stall. And then slipping it down with a lot of left stick and right rudder and just over the runway, level it off. Now watch him see if he goes sideways, sets it down. Now he sees that he can put one wheel down on the runway. And he's got both wheels down. Now watch him. He's almost to a dead stop. He's going to turn off. Whoop, he's going to keep. He's dead stop. The tail wheel's still off the ground. Now he's got it down. Going to come off the runway and back taxi and head on back to parking. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in the final round of applause for